What is going on, people? Joey Talks Boxing. A Jake Paul, Mike Tyson recap. A fight that was viewed as a fight for the ages going into it. No, I'm kidding. Uh, Listen, Mike Tyson's old. Mike Tyson's very old. I don't care who you are. 58 years old is old. I remember before the fight, I heard Billy Joe Saunders talk on Talk Sport. He said, "You're living in a fairy world if you think a 58-year-old man can do 8 2-minute rounds." He was 100% right. Mike Tyson had very poor stamina even 20 years ago. It's not going to be better now. I know people say, oh, he's living the life, this and that. Dude had an ulcer flare up back in, I think, July or August. Lost out on a lot of blood. That's why this fight had to get delayed. So, yeah, Mike jumps out all over Jake Paul, does some okay work in the first round. Then after that, it was pretty much over. The fight went exactly the way I thought it would go. It was not entertaining. Jake at times did some pretty good work. Also, the whole 2-minute round thing threw me off because I'm not used to that. I don't watch a lot of women boxing. But just a overall not exciting fight. But what I expected, I thought the fight would be Mike Tyson. He starts out doing well. Then after about 2 minutes, Jake Paul kind of is in control for the rest of the fight. And then Jake Paul is winning easily round after round. And then Jake Paul kind of goes easy on Mike because he doesn't want to be looked at as the guy who knocked out Mike Tyson. He doesn't want to be vilified by the public, which is smart because if he really knocked Mike out and messed him up, he would be, looked at badly. I do think in those later rounds he could have been more aggressive if he really wanted to. Yeah, I just hope that they don't do these type of fights anymore. Obviously, I'm not their audience. And, Jake Paul's an interesting predicament because he's too good for these type of fights, but he's not good enough to beat anybody that most boxing fans care about. So it's tough. You have to find someone who's older. You got to find someone who is less experienced. And on top of that, you also have to fight someone who's famous enough where you can make a big event. So he's in a tough pickle, but big reward for him to fight Mike Tyson. I'm honestly a little bit puzzled that they even cleared this up by the commission, but I guess Mike was able to pass the tests and whatever. And I did not get much out of this fight. I don't want to see Mike Tyson ever again in the ring. If I want to watch Mike Tyson, I will watch him on YouTube. All of his old fights, which I've seen many of them, they were great performances. The list goes long, on and on. But this is not something that I care to see. And, I think people have to accept that someone's name doesn't win you the fight. I don't care if he used to be the guy. Right now is a new day. And the same goes for a lot of the old legends. Holyfield, too, if he fights Jake Paul. But this is boxing. This is a circus. This is a show. It's always been about the money. I know some people had problems with the Netflix production. I didn't have any issues. But yeah, I wouldn't pay for this. I already had Netflix, but if I didn't, I'm not going out of my way to pay for this. Jake Paul, he fought cautiously, probably a little bit scared early on, but then he kind of settled into it. But the circus continues, the show continues, and what's crazy about it is guys like Artur Beterbiev and Daniel Dubois, legit champions, are calling out Jake Paul. Everyone just wants that payday, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Jake Paul is a legitimate 8-round fighter. But yeah, he's not a championship level fighter. There's different levels in boxing. There's 4-rounder, 6-rounder, 8-rounder, 10-rounder. Then you got 12-round journeyman. Then you got gatekeeper, contender. And then you got world champion. And then pound for pound. In era great, in all-time great. So then you got GOAT. So I just lived all the levels of boxing. He's an 8-round fighter, Jake Paul. That's the level he's at. And you got to respect that for a guy who started where he started from to get this far. But I just don't care about his fights anymore. They're just not interesting. This is just stupid. Him versus Mike Tyson. I'm not one of these guys that's mad about it. Oh, how could he fight Mike? Oh, it's rigged. It's scripted. Oh, which I don't believe that it's scripted. I don't believe that at all. But him versus Tommy Fury was interesting because that was a legit 50-50 fight. Him versus Tyron Woodley at the time was interesting. Him versus Nate Robinson even at the time was interesting. Now it's just getting stupid. And the one time in Jake's career where he had a legitimate foe who was similar in age and experience was Tommy Fury, and that's the only time he lost. So, to quote the great Teddy Atlas, a fight's not a fight unless you're saying overcome. In a way, is Jake Paul really owed one? I guess the Woodley fight and the Silva fights were pretty good wins. But, anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. The point is that Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight recap. Jake wins in a less than stellar fight, and I don't want to see Mike Tyson ever in the ring again, but whatever he got his money, good for him. Honestly, it sounds like he really needs the money if he's even doing this fight, because he said he doesn't care about legacy, so then what do you care about? It's obviously the money is the motivation. But congratulations to Jake. And it should not have been, by the way, that should not have been considered a professional fight. If you only do 2-minute rounds, that's an exhibition fight, so that shouldn't go on their records. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.